everyone, I'm Nysha Charlene, and today's vlog is because I have a ton of low vision appointments set up for this week, and that's super awesome. I'm really excited. The sun is shining today. Things are great. However, there's a lot of feelings that are associated with having to go to these appointments, and I kind of just want to continue to open up to you guys to sort of demystify what blindness is, how it feels to be experiencing low vision, and the inside scoop on what it feels like when you're not so chipper, or maybe why, or maybe even how to overcome those feelings. I have a meeting with the orientation and mobility therapist, and I'm going to be learning how to use a white cane. That right there has kind of been a little bit overwhelming for me. I'm a little nervous about it. I probably should have thought about what I wanted to say before I started the video, but whatever, we're gonna go with it. But yeah, so I have that's first, and then I have a low vision exam, which is great. I love my low vision doctor. And after that, I have a meeting with Lily. I forgot what her exact title is, but it's like rehab something. But she basically helps to kind of get you situated with things that help everyday living better. So one of my favorite things that I have received from her in the past is the little tiny orange buttons that you can put on things, especially in the kitchen, like a microwave. You can put it on whatever numbers you use most often. So I have mine on number 1, 2, 0, start, and cancel. And then everything else I can kind of navigate by feeling where that is, instead of having to zoom all the way in. It just works. It makes life easier. That being said, I'm excited today after a process of rewiring my brain, with the help of yoga, with the help of friends. But 2 days ago I could not sleep at all. I guess I was feeling a little bit of anxiety, especially over the white cane. That's what I'm most nervous about. I've expressed it before that I don't really feel like I need a white cane. I certainly won't rely on it, but it was highly recommended for me to learn it. With the progression of the vision loss, it'd be better to learn it sooner than later. And also, using the white cane for identification purposes as well. So you're asking, if there's so many benefits, why would you be scared or nervous about it? And the truth is probably because as a human, sometimes you are a little nervous about what people might think about you, or I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but sometimes I'm extremely confident using my devices when I have a friend with me. But when I'm alone, I kind of curl up into my little shell, and I feel a little embarrassed sometimes. So if my phone starts talking voiceover on, it embarrasses me sometimes. But that's what we have to kind of stick together to remind each other that we're not alone in this. So creating videos like this to show that, I experience the same things that you do, even though I'm on Blind Girl C, so open, and but it's not easy per se. It gets easier with time, but yeah, I still feel those things, and I think yoga really helps. You kind of take a second back. We know how to think positively, or what we should think, or what we should feel, or what doesn't matter and what does matter. But sometimes emotions take over, and you can lose sight of how to cope with certain things. So yeah. Yes, I couldn't sleep 2 nights ago. My mind was racing. It wasn't even about the white cane. I know that I feel that was maybe the source of the anxiety, but at the end of the day, it translated into thoughts about so many other areas of my life. I thought about planning to do an online yoga series. Stay tuned for that, because I stayed up all night planning it. But anyway, and I also thought about careers again. I love yoga, but what I realize is when I'm doing yoga is I'm sort of playing the role of a therapist. So I thought maybe that could be something that I'd be interested in. Okay, tangent again. Let's get back on target. So 2 weeks ago, I had my first mobility assessment. I talked with Jeff. He's the most awesome mobility instructor from the Lighthouse. And he was basically asking me what my struggles were when I'm out traveling alone. And for me, the biggest thing was crossing the street and finding my way to new places, obviously, and, getting on the buses, like knowing which bus is what stop I'm on, all things that he said could be really helpful if I had an identification cane. I don't really trip over things much because I think it's because I'm really, really alert. Like my eyes are always shifting all over the place. And I think that honestly, if it were me and another person with perfect vision, you're going to trip before I do because I'm paying so much attention to where I'm walking and stepping. So that wasn't much of a problem with me. But at nighttime, it does become a little more challenging. So yeah, so the first thing we did, we went outside and we walked to like the nearest intersection by where I live. We sort of talked about what it sounds like to hear a surge on the road. So when you hear the cars going and then all of a sudden you hear no cars going, that's a sign that maybe there was a red light. At the same time that you hear those cars stop, you hear a surge of other cars going in the other direction, meaning they have the green light and you also have the green light to walk on the adjacent street. Okay, so tips and tricks like that we learned about, and I'm sure today's training will be a lot more in depth, and when I get back I'll share a little more about that. So as you can see, these are all good things, but why did I feel anxious about it? Why am I nervous about it? I don't know. But what do you do when you do feel this way? You kind of need to break it down. You start with step one. Step one, meet with Jeff. That's all I have to do. They're not looking to me to prove anything. It's not a test that I have to pass or fail. I just have to show up, be present, be open-hearted, and learn something new. When you simplify it down to that, it makes it just a little bit easier. And then I can move on to the next meeting and whatever I have to do for the next meeting, and then the next meeting, but I won't think about it all as a whole. So today I woke up this morning and I did a little 20-minute yoga practice to kind of keep my nerves down, stay open-hearted, stay present in the moment, and that really, really, really was helpful. And then I decided to put on this little necklace. It is of like a little globe. It's not mine. I actually took it from my mom, but I like it because it kind of reminds me that this isn't really about me, that there's a much bigger picture. There's a whole world. There's tons of people who experience low vision, and I'm not the first person to be trained with a white cane or to go to 3 appointments in one day. I shouldn't be so overwhelmed. And it just also reminds me that I should be sharing my story. We have to be each other's resources. Like, if someone was to be losing their vision and they just got the diagnosis yesterday and they Google what to expect, they may not find valuable information, but it's up to us to sort of be there for each other and support. So this is my whole world thing, and somewhere on here I'm like smaller than a speck. But yeah, I gotta go. I'll come back and try to share more about this, and I hope this video is helpful. Stay awesome, guys.